more at 1,400 hours. I will come in when a COVID officer is not on set. I will come in. So we had to be kind of sneaky about it, but that was the hardest part because we're so used to just hanging out all the time, and you know, we weren't able to do that during that time.
Thank you. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, my name's Liz, and I loved your character because I'm trained as a photographer and in forensic science.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm also a total nerd, so yes, I'm very much like Ella. My question to you is, you know, forensics can be pretty icky. And was there ever a point where you came on set and went, no, I'm not getting near that, y'all gonna have to fix it?
No, I'm a team player. The only time I was, I mean, the naked episode, I was like, well, I guess this is happening. Now I'm a team player. I was okay with it. The blood is actually sticky, you know, because we use syrup and sugar, spoiler alert. But no, I thought it was so cool because I love, I'm not that squeamish with like set stuff. I thought the makeup department did such a great job, and I loved it. So there was really nothing, I kind of wanted to get more. Like, can we get more blood in here? And the only thing that you guys would appreciate is sometimes we had like one scientist come and teach me some stuff like the first day, and then she was gone, and I was kind of on my own. So they'd be like, the director would come in and they'd say, okay, Amy, we're gonna start the scene, you doing science stuff. And then we're gonna go to Tom and Lauren. What does that mean? What if they're actual scientists, like our friend over here who teaches middle school science? So literally, I didn't know what to do, so I would just like look at the test tweet here and count to 10. And hopefully by then, they're on Tom and Lauren. So that was the only time that it's like big teaming.
Hi, my name's Lynette, and I just want to say that I love your character and I love you as a person, but I want to know what your favorite scene to film in the entire show was.
Ooh, so many fun ones. I did like riding in Lucifer's car, which I didn't get to do that often. I really, really liked the Radish in Vegas episode. That dancing episode was so fun. So I would say that combined with like the football scene in, you know, Another One Bites the Dust musical episode was so fun. Because it was literally like, imagine all of us in this room, I don't know how many there are, but imagine all of us have to do something together before the sun goes down, we can't mess up, we have one take. That's the adrenaline that you're feeling, and everyone needs to be on point, because like if you're supposed to be here, but you're here, the gymnast could get hurt. So you had to make sure you were on your spot here so that the gymnasts could do their thing. So that musical episode was really special, and we all high-fived. It was like the closest I've come to doing like a live Broadway show with 200 people. So that will definitely be a highlight.
That's awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Amy.
Hi.
Hi, this is my first one ever, and this is my first question ever.
Oh, welcome. We will de-virginize you.
I love Ella, and I love the dynamic that you have with Lucifer, like the brother-sister dynamic. I kind of see myself as that too. If I would ever have a brother, I would have somebody like Lucifer. So my question to you is, Ella has really lengthy dialogues, like often with complicated scientific terms and such. So was there any particular dialogue that was hard for you, or like you tripped up a lot, or something like that?
Yes, external examination from the carotid. I don't know what that means. And the other one, I can't remember it now, but do you remember when she was on drugs in the club? And I wanted to make a personal choice to say the lines as quickly as possible. So I just remember being like in my house, I was like, okay, faster, faster, faster. And I actually don't remember what they were, but I know she's like talking to Lucifer, and she's just so high. And that, I said it's so fast, like I've never heard you talk that fast. And I talk pretty fast. So that one, and then yeah, external examination from the prodded. I had to say that over and over and over again. But thank you for asking because she has so many technical terms. So the first thing I would do, I'm like, how do I make science fun and interesting? And I had someone tell me, like, I used to not like the crime scenes in season 1, but then you came and I was always looking forward to the crime scenes. So that was it. My biggest goal was how do you make it fun? Like, how did he die? With a hammer. Hammer time. So that was my big, but that one line and then that one scene was tough. Welcome to our wonderful jungle. What is happening? And it's so bad these days. But as far as on camera, I don't know. I feel like maybe like sometimes some jokes didn't land. I'm like, oh, I could have done that a little better. But I don't know. Maybe the alternate Ella. I feel like I could have gone further with that, with her tatted up and kind of leaned into that a little bit more. But I don't know. You guys would probably know better than me. Be like in episode 3, season 4. You know, but that would be my guess. Probably alternate Ella. I could have explored her a little bit more. She's like, but yeah. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with the way everything came out. But obviously, as an artist, you're always like, I could have landed a little better. But great question. I've never been asked that question. Thank you. You're welcome.
Hello. Hi. I'm Sherry.
Hi,
Thanks
Sherry.
for coming.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask you about your Hallmark Mystery Lane movie, and if there's going to be more, and what was it like to work with Paul Campbell?
Thank you for watching it, by the way. I'm really bad at keeping secrets, so I'm going to be deliberate with my words. I had a great time. Thank you all for showing up to watch this really fun movie we did. And we shot the whole thing in 15 days. Paul, I know, it's crazy. Paul Campbell is so fun and such a consummate professional and so goofy. He plays Ella. He's like the male Ella in the show. And I'm like, hey, you know what would be funny? Like, instead of just getting into bed, he does like a somersault into bed. I'm like, oh, that's so Ella. And, just little things, like it says, like, they kiss. And hey, instead of just kissing, let's do a little move where I come into you and we do like a sailor's dip. And he's always a yes man. Like, he's open to play and improv. He is fantastic. He also dances with me in between takes, even though he's exhausted, which I really appreciate. He is a gem of a human being, and I would love to do more with him. As far as if we're going to get to do more, I can't confirm nor deny. But let me just say thank you for showing up. Thank you for the petition for more. It may or may not have been heard. There may or may not be more. I cannot say. I cannot say. Thank you. Yes.
My name is Barbara. I'm from California. I teach physiology, human physiology, and chemistry. So I just wanted to point out, I know you've heard this a million times. First of all, I'll start with 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 4s2, 3p10, and so on.
What I'm talking about.
I wish my students did. But anyway, I personally know that you playing that character has had a huge impact on female students. And when I started teaching chemistry, you could not get girls in chemistry. They took the lower courses and that was it. Over the years, especially of recent, thanks to people like you for encouraging females in science, I am grateful for you. That's all I wanted to say.
So I loved X-Files back in the day, and Amy was one of my favorite characters. She was the smartest person in the room. She was so analytical. She didn't lead with sexuality. She just was so smart and so unapologetic for it. And I realized how influential those those characters are, and we don't see that many of them. So I'm very touched, and I really appreciate that. And you know, we're all on this earth for we don't know how long, and I never take any day for granted. But I feel like, I mean, this is so morbid, but if something ever happens to me early on, I feel like, okay, how did I make it better for the next generation of women of color, women in STEM? So I feel like, okay, if it's, I mean, I'm not saying I want to go anywhere, I'm just saying, I feel like that helps, so I appreciate that, like that really does mean a lot, because you want to influence positivity. Hello.
Hi Amy, my name is Brooke, and I identify as a fast talker as well, so so most people usually ask, who could you see yourself playing other than Ella? But my question is, who do you think would have the hardest time playing Ella?
Oh, you mean from the show?
Yeah.
You know, my first instinct is DB, but he does have a goofy side to him, and as we all know, when he smiles, it lights up the room. Okay, that smile, I'm like, keep smiling, keep shining, Deeps. Maybe Leslie Ann. Because she's just like too cool. She's just cool. Like even I took a road trip with her. We were doing a con and somewhere in England, and the cons were on the weekend, so we all spent the week together. And then I just like rode with her and her family. Like they kind of adopted me, and like everything she does, it's like she always like she just like dresses cool, and she just is in great shape. Like she's like, hey, I'm gonna do a workout with you. I said, can you please help me, you know, work out? I don't have a personal trainer. I don't do anything fancy. I don't, you know, do YouTube stuff. I mean, sometimes I'll do YouTube stuff. And she's like, yeah, just catch this ball. And it was so heavy. She just made it look so easy. So I feel like she would, I don't know. Maybe there's a dork in there somewhere deep down, but she's like, you know, so I think she would probably have it be the most challenged, but then who knows, you know? People surprise you. She might be the biggest dork out of all of us. Good question. Hello, hi.
Hi, my name is Isabel and I'm 9 years old, and I just want to ask if I could get a world's biggest hug.
Yeah! I would like to say yes, but absolutely not. She was surrounded by demons, the devil, angels, goddesses. I call her the smartest, dumbest scares. And it's funny because she sees people's essences, like Charlotte. Remember when she was a goddess? She's like, I see a light. You know, everyone says shark eyes, but I see a light. She was able to detect like the goddess's light. So I would really like to think that Ella would be on to Dexter, but no. I think once that Ella has love goggles for someone, you could be the devil or a serial killer. See what I did there? And you would just, you know, one of my favorite lines on Dexter, by the way, for those of you who watched it, is Dexter's voiceover where he wants to go out and do his thing. And Jamie, his nanny, wants to make him dinner and plan a double date. She's like, you need to get out. She doesn't realize that he's a serial killer. She's like, you're stressed, you need to set up a double date. And so he really wants to go out and do his thing. And Jamie doesn't allow. She's like, I made enchiladas, and you're not going anywhere. And then Dexter's voiceover says, serial killer bested by 100-pound nanny. So thank you, great question, and hard no. No worries.
I'm a dancer too, and I was just wondering what's your favorite style of dance?
I started in ballet, which, you gotta like suck in the stomach and good posture, so that was a lot. But I think like hip hop and jazz. I did all like the Martha Graham, modern dance, all that stuff. But I think just hip hop and jazz, like to this day, every morning, literally like 3 hours ago, I do like warm-ups, like every day, just for as you get older, it gets but I just do like dance warm-ups, and like if I'm on a plane, but I would say hip hop and jazz. I do love tap. Tap is really fun. Oh, I guess I should ask Cases of Mystery Lane on the home. I should. They're like, what skills do you have? I should mention tap. But what's yours?
I like contemporary and jazz.
Okay. So yeah, maybe we can do dance routine later on today. I need new moves. Thank you. Good question. Hello.
Hi, my name is Susie.
Hi, Susie.
My question is, Ella finally learns the truth in that final season. Do you wish she had learned about it earlier?
Actually, no, because I think it would have taken away the fun banter between Ella and Lucifer, and her just thinking he's an unemployed actor who can't catch a break. So I loved that they waited so long so that she can still. It's so fun to be. It's so fun for the audience to be in on something that a character isn't on, who they like see themselves in, because it creates such good tension of like, oh, he's a devil, like read the signs. So no, I love. Now I would have loved to be included in some of the battles, like celestial battles between angels and demons. I love that constantly on the show, Ella would help crack a case, and they'd be like, okay, let's go to the angel celestial fight, but you stay in the lab. So I would have loved to be kind of included in some celestial battles, but it's not in the cards for her. Hello.
Hi, Aimee. My name's Courtney. I think it's so cool how many girls and women this role must have inspired to go into STEM or explore it more when maybe they were hesitant to. I think it's cool that you say that's one of the reasons you took the role in the first place. And I hope you hear stories about that all the time of people that you've inspired based on that role. And I was wondering what your favorite story you've heard is from someone that you've inspired.
Thank you for asking that question. I loved this role the second I read it, and I had just come off I was so close to getting this big role at the time, and my team, God bless them, but they were like, Lucifer, crime-solving devil, it's a mid-season, I don't think this role is big enough for you, because I just come off as the female lead of this big potential show. And I said, I don't care. I've never seen a female scientist, especially of color, like her. And I want to do it. And so my favorite story that I've heard is a science teacher saying that she played scenes of Ella in her class. And I know, I got so, and literally that makes me so happy, right? Because it's like, how do you leave the world better than you? It doesn't have to be huge, like we don't all have to be Oprah, but how do you leave the world just a little bit better than you found it? And I think that is, I can really die happy knowing that a choice that people around me were like, this isn't good enough, this isn't big enough, this isn't, and I said, you know what, but my heart and my soul, I never saw an Ella that looked like me on TV. And I love learning, and I do love science, so I want to represent a character that didn't exist when I was a kid. Yeah. And so, I did.
Hi, my name is Karen, and I wanted to ask you, what is your favorite dance move from hip-hop?
Oh, gosh, I'm gonna date myself. I guess I put it in the show, So I guess it really is like I love everything is moving at all times, and obviously like the snake, you know. Yeah, I'm a big snake person, and I wish I could pop and lock, like 80 styles. I cannot, but yeah. And then the classic, but yeah, snake and like moving everything at the same time. That's my favorite move, the hammer time. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
My name's Rich, and I'm a big fan, but my fiance is probably one of your biggest fans because she's not only a scientist, but wore the shirts well before season 2. She's wearing them right now.
I love that. Well, thank you. Hopefully I get to meet you.
Well, my question is, I know that on the show, your character loves Harleys. What is your favorite? What is your opinion about motorcycles?
Motorcycles?
Yes.
Well, a dear friend of mine just got into a motorcycle accident. Here's my real opinion about motorcycles, is I think that you could be perfect in the gear and the helmet and all this stuff, but what it makes me a little nervous about motorcycles is that you're putting your safety into the hands of people who are driving with cell phones. So that makes me really, I live in LA and constantly, and I'm a pretty defensive driver, I'm chill, but I'm at all seconds, people will swerve into my lane and I'll just swerve away, and then I thought, gosh, if I wasn't paying attention, I could have gotten sideswiped by this person, but I'll always look at them, and they're on their phone, on the freeway and stuff. So things like that make me a little nervous now. However, if we're talking motorcycles in movies, like Batman's motorcycle, I would like to have one. Will I ride it? I don't know. And I love that he's like, you're not saying what I want you to say. But I would probably never ride one myself. I would probably ride on the back of someone on an open road in the middle of Utah, where there's no traffic except for maybe the occasional, deer that you have to look out for. But if we're talking like Batman's motorcycle, that changes the narrative for me. And James Bond, and I just watched John Wick. So John Wick rides a very, very hip. Oh my God, I'm so hip. A very cool motorcycle, of which, if I ever get to be on an actual Batman motorcycle or John Wick motorcycle, I will definitely put it on my Instagram story to share with you all. But that's my
Thank you.
Hello, my name's Charles. I'm here because my wife's a super fan and I got her along. So I figured I'd go embarrass her a little bit by trying to come up with a good question for you.
Love it.
So the one I came up with you is a little bit of turnabout. It's either going to be the easiest or the hardest question you have. What is a question that you've been dying for a fan to ask you? And what's the answer to?
Oh, this is really good questions. Well, I guess no one's asked it here if there's going to be a Lucifer movie. I don't have an answer. I was thinking, I know Tom comes a little later. I might be like, hey, Ellis, what are you feeling? How you feeling? We'll see. I'm planting seeds. So, never say never. But I really have no news. But I would love to just get back with the old gang and just I don't know. I think it's like camp, right? When you have a really good time at summer camp, or you had a really great barbecue or whatever, it's like you just wanna. I would love to come back and play. And if it would have gone 3 more seasons, I would have been down. But above my pay grade, just scientist, and that would be a question that I would have to answer. Definitively.
We'll ask Tom.
It's all about the presentation. So, yeah, let me know what he says. Don't throw me under the bus. Don't be like, oh, Aimee is so down. No, yeah, it's so funny because you know how we've had our, as you guys know, been on this roller coaster with us. And we were canceled, picked up, canceled, picked up. And like, I'm always the last one to get the news. You know what I mean? So it's like they go in the order, you know, I'm the last one on the show, whatever. And so I like look on Twitter, it's like, Lucifer has been picked up, and then a call from my bosses, they're like, so we have news. I'm like, yeah, I know. So you guys will probably know before, just shoot me a message.
Hi. I apologize, I am extremely nervous.
Oh, don't worry. You can't tell.
You've talked about how like upbeat and bright your character is, and I was wondering for you personally, if there is a specific scene that is either the hardest or most emotional for you to get through.
Yes, the hardest scene for me, I think, was the scene with Pete, where he accosts her and throws her to the floor and almost chokes her out. And I think we had a director say, or our script supervisor was like, this is one of the darkest scenes we've had on the show. So I kind of had to kill my funny bones that day, which is so hard, because I feel like humor helps me get through life, you know? And that was really challenging, to just not have any humor, any wink, any fun in that, and really represent what it was like to be a woman that was in a really bad relationship and nearly being choked to death. There's nothing funny about that. So that was very hard for me, and I wanted to do the scene justice. And I said, look, really go for it. And like when I rapped, I had marks all over my neck and bruises on my shoulders. And I said, it's okay. Like I bruise easily, and don't worry. But that was really challenging for me, because there was nothing in that scene about Ella except her fight, right? And her savviness of picking up the syringe. And so that was smart thinking. But other than that, there was no goofiness in that scene, which is hard, because I kind of lead with goof.
Thank you.
My name is Charlie, and I'm a big fan of the show, although my mother is a bigger fan than me. The show has inspired me to actually become an actor myself. I am currently in the middle of voice acting school specifically, but my question is, if someone came to you and they asked you for advice of the acting industry in general, what advice would you give and why?
I would say perseverance is the most important thing. It's 98% rejection, which can be so disheartening, but if you love it, just don't give up. Right? You hear all these stories of John Krakowski was about to go home and just quit acting, and then he got The Office. Or, you know, George Clooney doing like 13 pilots, and then he goes off and gets ER. Walking Dead wouldn't sell anywhere, and the only place that would buy it, AMC. I didn't get 17 auditions in a row, and I was on the verge of quitting. I went home, I told my mom I can't take any more rejection, and then she was like, you know, you can quit, but then no one received your gift. So I tried out, and I got the 18th audition, which was Dexter. So I would just say, it sounds really cliche, but just don't give up. Like if that's what you want to do, if that's what makes you happy, if that's what fills you with joy, do it. And don't give up. And good luck. BB, and she's very honest, okay? Like, she doesn't, this woman has no chill. And she goes, I like it very much. The only part I don't like is when BB dies. Yes! You don't like it. So she goes,
I didn't like that part either.
and I hear, well, someone, I cannot confirm or deny, just got back. I go, hey, when are my friends coming? Because I was the first one here this morning. I rocked down to the lobby. I think I'm going to see everyone. Like, oh no, it's just you. You're first. I'm like, well, when are my friends coming? They're like, not till later, like 11, 1 o'clock. I'm like, oh, okay, so I got the early shift. Cool. And then I'm like, when is Deeds coming? And they're like, well, he just arrived this morning because he went to the White House.
That was very cool.
I have so many questions.
I have so many answers.
Oh, gee. Wait, would you do a movie?
I would do a Lucifer movie.
Yes,
Yeah. Would you guys watch a Lucifer movie? My apologies, I just didn't say good morning. Yeah.
You're so stealthy for being so tall. And you guys, okay? Don't want to be in the way.
You guys were so good. I was thinking to myself, no way, quiet. Thank you. Now we have to prank Leslie Ann.
They're good. They're like
really good. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's give it up for Aimee Garcia.
If you still have some more questions, she can hang out with me for a few minutes and she can answer your questions. If that's allowed. Or does she have somewhere else to be?
We don't really know what's going on. We're like little dogs that are like.
I just want to mess up someone's schedule.
Do I have 2 minutes to bring things back? Yeah. Okay, 4 minutes. We'll go really high. Are those Ella questions? Okay, real quick.
Hi, my name is Denzel. I do apologize because I do have generalized anxiety disorder. So I'm sorry if my voice shakes or if I'm crazy.
Never apologize for being you.
But I'm mainly here for my mom. She loves the show. She told me her favorite scene was when Ella had a whole meltdown when she found out that Lucifer was the devil. And I wanted to know your thought process on that, how you portrayed that.
I loved that they had kept her totally in the dark for so long. I call her the dumbest, smartest character on TV. And honestly, you know what I do? I'll be honest. I don't know, drunk, you know this, drunk is really hard to play. Like, drunk people don't think they're drunk. Drunk people are like, I'm fine. So before we would shoot, I would literally, so I wouldn't have to act. I would just do this. And then they'd be like, okay, rolling, and action. And I would like do the scene, and you don't have to act because you're just really dizzy. So that's how I prepared physically for it, and then, you know, adding in the Spanish, and, you know, it was and then the rest ensued.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Christina. You mentioned earlier about when you went to a convention in England, and I couldn't go to that, so I had to play all the way here. But I just wanted to ask, because the hotel you stayed in was like 5 minutes from my house, what did you think of the afternoon tea that you had there?
Afternoon, you were there, afternoon tea.
I don't think I made the afternoon tea. No, seriously, because it was so beautiful there that I went for outside a walk, and I just kept going and going. And it was the most, I would not shut up about the walk that I went for 2 days. It was amazing. It was beautiful there. The countryside is stunning.
countryside. This one is in heaven, like loved it. So I loved after, so you don't have any other sandwiches?
No, I was on that walk.
Oh.
I saw you guys through the window and I was like, fuck that, I'm taking a walk. It was beautiful. I've been in this country for no. I'm going on this walk.
I mean, who would have thought DB in the countryside, made to last. But I did take the tea and it was really delicious. I love the sandwiches, especially like the cucumber and the, I think, salmon or tuna. I'm a fan. Yes?
Hi, Amy. My name's Elena. I was just wondering, how does it feel being the cast member whose tickets sold out first?
I didn't know that, so I think, you know what it is? Ella is very much, I feel, in a position to be like avatar of the viewers, right? It's like she is, it feels pretty good though. And I also like to think maybe I don't do as many, so it's like here's your, but thank you for telling me that. It feels pretty cool. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's DB. Okay, great. Oh, DB2.
Hello, my name is Jordan. I love when shows do musical episodes, so I was just wondering what your favorite song is and if you could sing some of it.
Oh, yes. You mean the musical episode? Okay, so
From the musical episode, it would just be your favorite song in general.
You know what song I really love? Oh God, I'm so nervous. My heart is totally racing. So I do like this. Like you've heard this. It is from the musical episode, but Scarlett sang it. I don't know all the words, so I might. So I love it. So sweet. Oh God, I'm so nervous. You guys see? Whoever's like, I am nervous. Like my heart is literally bumping. Okay. I'm so nervous. Okay. Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, they'll roll by.
And
5 minutes left to shoot.
And since they're not here, she was my favorite. No, I'm serious, she was my favorite. I love them all, but just imagine working with your friends for like 7 years. You're good friends. And then one day, you're the boss.
Okay, moving on.
Does that sound like fun?
Okay, next, real quick, let's wrap this up.
Hi, this is great because my question could be for both of you. So once Ella finds out about heaven, I was wondering what you think your first meeting would be after she passes.
Oh God. Well, yeah, but it would just be on the express train straight up.
Say nice road.
Nice dress.
I think the first conversation would be how wonderful she was to have faith during times when, because it's what faith is, right? It's you're having faith, believing in something, even though you don't have any tangible, any physical evidence. And so you're asking someone to just believe and be optimistic and hope. And she was, especially on the show, the greatest example of faith.
One of my favorite moments of the whole series was that DB, you guys asked me about improvisation earlier, and I want you guys to know that when he brings Charlotte, I'm starting to get a little emotional, that because like we're all bounded by mortality, and that scene where he takes Charlotte up, and he says, "Let's go home." DB came up with that one.